OMG, Cowboys Nation, stop everything you're doing right now because we have some massive breaking news that just hit the NFL world like a Texas thunderstorm. The Dallas Cowboys have officially signed Alec Pierce, and fans are absolutely going wild. This is not just your everyday offseason signing. This move has serious implications for the 2025 NFL season and beyond. So buckle up, because we're about to dive into exactly what this means for Dallas, what Alec Pierce brings to the table, and why this could be one of the most under-the-radar but game-changing moves of the entire offseason. Alec Pierce, the 6'3", 210-pound wide receiver out of Cincinnati who was drafted by the Indianapolis Colts back in 2022, was once viewed as a project player with elite physical traits: long speed, explosive leaping ability, and strong hands in contested situations. Fast forward to 2024, and Pierce quietly put together one of the most efficient seasons in the NFL, even though he was operating in a Colts offense that lacked consistent quarterback play. What made Pierce stand out last season wasn't just his ability to stretch the field, it was how ridiculously efficient he was doing it. With just 37 catches, he amassed 824 yards and 7 touchdowns, giving him an eye-popping 22.3 yards per reception. That's not just good, it's historic. In fact, his YPR was the highest in the league and one of the best in the past 50 years. To put that into perspective, players like Tyreek Hill and Deshaun Jackson, two of the most respected deep threats in modern football, never hit that kind of efficiency over a season. Alec Pierce isn't just fast, he's dangerous. And now, he's bringing that danger to at&T Stadium, where the Cowboys are already loaded with talent. So why would the Cowboys make this move now? Let's consider their offseason trajectory. After a disappointing playoff loss that exposed weaknesses in the wide receiver room behind CeeDee Lamb, the front office knew they had to add more juice. Yes, they had George Pickens, who came over from Pittsburgh last season, and while Pickens showed flashes of brilliance, he isn't necessarily that top-tier speedster who can take the top off a defense every single snap. Jalen Tolbert has been serviceable but hasn't evolved into a consistent WR3. The Cowboys drafted well. Yes, they added some offensive line support and a developmental tight end, but the glaring hole was a reliable deep threat. And that's where Alec Pierce fits in perfectly. What makes this acquisition even more impressive is the cost. Pierce, now entering the final year of his rookie contract, comes with a modest cap hit under $4 million. For a team like Dallas, which is always dancing around the salary cap with big contracts like those of Dak Prescott, Zach Martin, and Micah Parsons looming on the horizon, a high-upside low-cost signing is exactly what the doctor ordered. But this isn't just about money, it's about fit. Kellen Moore may be gone, but the Cowboys' offensive philosophy still revolves around spacing, timing, and creating matchup nightmares. And Pierce brings a unique trait to the table: he demands safety help over the top. This opens up massive possibilities for CeeDee Lamb to operate underneath and across the middle, where he's one of the most dangerous route runners in the NFL. It also helps Prescott by giving him a reliable sideline target who can bail him out on broken plays or late clock situations. Picture this: Prescott under center, Tony Pollard lined up in the backfield, CeeDee Lamb in motion from the slot, George Pickens on one boundary, and Alec Pierce on the other. The defense now has to respect every inch of the field. They can't stack the box, they can't double Lamb without leaving Pierce one-on-one, and they can't blitz aggressively without risking a 60-yard bomb to one of the most explosive players in the game. That's the kind of domino effect this signing has. And let's not forget what kind of chemistry Prescott can build with a player like Pierce. Doc has always thrived when he has receivers who can win deep. Think back to his best years with Dez Bryant, or even Amari Cooper. With Pierce, it's not just about route trees and separation, it's about making the most of minimal opportunities. The guy doesn't need 12 targets a game. Give him 5, and he might turn 2 of them into touchdowns. That kind of production in a rotational role is invaluable in today's NFL. And Cowboys fans aren't the only ones excited. Former Colts teammates have praised Pierce for his work ethic, quiet leadership, and dedication to improving every facet of his game. He's not flashy off the field, but on the field, he's a nightmare for DBs. Now, let's talk about how this affects the rest of the depth chart. If Pierce steps in as the clear WR2 or WR3, that likely means a reduction in snaps for Tolbert or even Brandon Cooks if the team decides to move on from him for cap reasons. It could also mean we see more four-wide sets, which offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer experimented with late last season. This could become one of the most flexible offenses in the NFL. And don't forget, this is a team with playoff expectations. The signing of Alec Pierce isn't just about regular season box scores. This is about January. This is about being able to face teams like the Eagles, 49ers, or even a potential Super Bowl opponent and say, we have the firepower to keep up. Pierce gives you that game-breaking option that can flip momentum on a single play. And if you've followed the Cowboys in the playoffs, you know how much they've lacked that in recent years. Now let's take a step back and look at Alec Pierce's journey. Coming out of the University of Cincinnati, he was considered raw but with high upside. He had a solid rookie year with the Colts, but was often lost in the shuffle of a dysfunctional offense. It wasn't until his third year in the league that he started to truly break out, showing chemistry with Anthony Richardson and proving that he could be more than just a vertical threat. His route running improved, his hands became more consistent, and his ability to track the deep ball became elite. The stats don't lie. When he was targeted, good things happened. Now imagine what happens when he's in a stable offensive environment with a proven QB, a top 10 offensive line, and an elite play caller who understands spacing and matchups. It's a recipe for success. Cowboys fans, let's be real. How long have we waited for that next piece to push this team over the edge? We've seen stars come and go. We've had hope every season. But this feels different. Alec Pierce might not be a household name just yet, but this is exactly the kind of move that championship teams make. They find undervalued talent, they build roles around them, and they unleash them at the right time. And when Pierce hits the field at A&T Stadium for the first time in a Cowboys uniform, you better believe the roof is gonna blow off. The fans are already buzzing. Social media has exploded. Analysts are calling it one of the best value moves of the offseason. And guess what? Training camp hasn't even started yet. But let's not kid ourselves, there will be challenges. Chemistry doesn't happen overnight. Pierce will need to learn a new system, build timing with Doc, and earn his snaps in a crowded wide receiver room. But all signs point to him being ready. His football IQ is high. He's a team-first guy. And he's coming into a locker room that's hungry, focused, and ready to make a deep postseason run. If he can find a groove early, watch out. This offense might just become one of the most lethal in the entire league. Imagine a three-receiver set with Lamb, Pickens, and Pierce. How do you defend that? Stack the box? Good luck. Go cover zero? Say goodbye to your safeties. Play soft? You'll get picked apart underneath. It's a pick your poison scenario, and that's exactly what the Cowboys want to put opposing defenses in. Alec Pierce gives them that advantage. He stretches the field, he forces mistakes, and most importantly, he finishes plays. So here we are, mid-July, and already the Dallas Cowboys have pulled off one of the biggest splashes of the summer. Alec Pierce is now a Cowboy. The fanbase is buzzing, the analysts are praising, and somewhere in the Cowboys' war room, Jerry Jones is probably smiling ear to ear. Because he knows this team just got faster. They just got deeper, and maybe, just maybe, they got one step closer to that elusive 6th Lombardi trophy. Buckle up, Cowboys Nation. 2025 just got a whole lot more interesting.